Okay, I'm here with Bal Kang and Joker Boxing, and we're going to discuss the lightweight champion, Ricky Burns versus WBO lightweight champion versus Terrence Crawford coming up, and we're going to go. Bal, you want to go first? Go ahead.
Well, I think it's an interesting matchup. I know that Ricky Burns wanted the Beltran rematch, which I think Beltran clearly won, but robbery. I've got respect for Ricky Burns. I do have respect for him because I think he's a tough fighter. But following the Roman Martinez victory, I haven't seen him develop the way I would have liked. So for this fight, for me, it's pretty clear cut. There's nothing really much more to discuss from my point of view, apart from the fact that I think Terrence Crawford will win this fight. I think he'll definitely win a decision, and he may even stop Burns late.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Joker.
Yeah, man, I think it's a very good fight. I'm actually looking forward to it. I don't know. I think a lot of people are definitely split on this. I know some people think that Crawford might get robbed. I know, EJ, you brought that up a few times. But I don't know. I think it's actually going to be a good fight. I think Crawford's going to win it clearly, and I think that I don't think they're going to do that what they did in the Beltran fight again, because it'll just be such a bad look on them. No one's going to want to fight too many matchroom fighters if that happens. So I think that'd be a disaster for them if that did happen. And you know, obviously, you know, a lot of people already don't want to go overseas as it is because they feel like they're going to get robbed. So I think a lot of people are going to be paying attention, the Andre Wards of the world, and they're going to want to make sure that Terrence Crawford gets a fair shake. So I think he will. I will say this, though. I don't think it's going to be a complete beatdown, because I think that Ricky Burns is motivated, and I think he'll come in and actually make a good account for himself. I know he hasn't exactly looked great recently, but I just have the feeling that he's got nothing to lose. Well, actually, he has everything to lose. So that's why he's going to bring it all to the table. I think he's going to train hard. He's going to come out, try to defend his title. And I think he'll put the pressure on Crawford. So Crawford's got to be motivated. He can't go in there and thinking that he's just going to get the to him, because it's not going to happen. He's going to have to earn it, and I think he will.
Good take, man. Both you both good points. My take on the whole thing with the Ricky Burns, Ricky Burns is the type of guy that, from what I see, is that he maximizes talent. He's not even that talented, but he's been given opportunities at the right time, and he's been matched very well, and he's looked good. Now he's with Eddie Hearn and left Thing, and since he's left Frank Warren, he's been looking terrible, because Eddie Hearn, really and truly, he believes that you'll fight. He believes people in his name should fight certain people. He'll throw you in the lions. And Ricky Burns has been thrown in the lions, and so far he squeaked through, man. Squeaked through some of these defenses. The last guy, he had a defense and the guy broke his arm. The guy was winning the fight.
Gonzalez were putting a clinic on him.
Yeah, he broke his arm on him. And then the second guy, obviously we saw with Beltran. When I interviewed Beltran, I said, Beltran, why don't you finish? He goes, oh, the ref wouldn't let him. That's what he told me. He told me that the ref was intervening. I didn't really see that, but he's a boxer. He knows what he's talking about. I'm not really going to question his opinion on that. But he said that basically the referee wouldn't let him get in there and finish him. That's what he said to me. And you saw what happened. That was a draw. And now he's going to get Crawford. In my opinion, Crawford suits him better, because it's a more offensive match. Fencing off match, which will probably suit Ricky Burns. Crawford should be better than him. But I guaranteed if it's going to be a fencing match, Burns is going to be a draw, or Burns will retain his title. Thingy has to go over there to go. Crawford has to go over and knock. And Crawford, in my opinion, hasn't shown me that he's got. I mean, he looked good in America against guys they put him against, but now he's going against the champion in a way. You need to go over there and dominate, right? Well, look, okay, let me say this: Beltran dominated, he didn't get it. So you need to basically go over and stop him. I don't think Crawford's going to do that. So if he's not going to do that, let me finish what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think Scotland are going to give up their only champion. That's their only world champion, and with no one else on the horizon, nothing else. Like, if that's it, like that's the only thing they get up for. Oh, Ricky Burns, oh this, that. You know, they ain't got no one else. So unless he goes over there and leaves Ricky Burns laying on the canvas, he's not getting the belt, and is staying in Scotland. And that's my take on that. Go ahead, Bal Kang.
But like Joker said, though, you know, if it's another like a robbery, then Matchroom are gonna have this like tag attached to them that, oh, fighters are gonna get robbed, and that's gonna turn off viewers, you know. because you can only go on for so long, man. There's a limit to all things, and you know, it can only go on for so long. So I think that it may not be that, but in terms of the power, look at Beltran, right? He's not renowned for an exclusively, you know, one-punch knockout, but he wore him down and he put Burns down. Did he put him down once or twice?
Twice.
He put him down twice, right? Therefore, and then he broke his jaw. So Ricky Burns, I think he'll be mindful of that. So therefore, be a little bit more defensive and try and win it on the jab. But that's where Crawford's game will come into play, because he'll go on the offensive, and I know that he can use his reach and jab to box as well. You know, he'll probably see the tapes or, you know, DVDs now. And he'll be like saying, well, okay, I can just keep this kid, bang him off there, he'll be different, bam, and then come in when I need to. I just think that there's a chance that it could be stopped, man, or definitely hit the ground, definitely hit the canvas for sure.
Yeah, well, let me make a couple of points too, really quick, because that's the thing. Well, number one, I think that I agree with something that you said when you said that the jig is basically kind of up with the Ricky Burns thing. I think that Eddie Hearn and these guys, Eddie Hearn's a great promoter. I think he's a smart guy. I don't think he's going to be willing, and these guys are going to be willing to take the risk of trying to protect Burns, because there's no point. I think after the Beltran fight, you saw that, hey, that was a fight that they obviously felt was a winnable fight for Burns, and he didn't come through. So you can only protect a guy who has limited talent for so long. You know, I'm not saying Burns is a terrible fighter or anything like that. I'm saying the guy's limited. So you're only going to try to protect a guy like that for so long. And I think now they're going into this fight saying, hey, Burns, this is on you. Whatever happens, happens. We've done everything we could do. We've made plenty of money off of you. We've got you this much money. It's up to you now to carry the torch and go in there and try to win. If you can't, the jig is up, buddy. And I think that's kind of what's going to happen. And another thing I want to say, too, is we got to remember, Ray Beltran took something from Burns in that fight. I mean, heck, he took his jaw. He broke the guy's jaw. So you talk about taking a lot of somebody's chin away, or taking a lot from a fighter. We don't know what kind of Burns we're going to get. You know, and Burns already hasn't exactly looked great. So I think that it's going to be extra motivation for Terrence to come in there and say, hey, this guy's a wounded lion. He's hurt. Now is my opportunity to get this belt. You know, and if Terrence Crawford doesn't go in there and really put it on Burns, that's going to be an indictment on him as a fighter, because, I mean, this guy, what more incentive do you need? You got the belt on the line. This guy's been hurt in his last fight. I think he should go in there and have a great showing. But I want to ask EJ this question. Do you think that if Crawford doesn't knock out Burns, you don't think he can get the decision?
No, I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. I think you can't get a more clinical beating on what thing it is. He broke his jaw, as you guys have pointed out. He's knocked him down. I mean, what more do you need to do to take the belt? That's all you need to do. He won majority of the rounds. I mean, did you guys any of you guys have Burns winning that fight?
No.
Did you? Let me ask a question. Do you see it as a draw?
No.
So understanding that, how do you see Crawford winning? And Crawford is not that aggressive. It's a counter.
It's the last of the great robberies. It was like last of the great train robberies.
No, it's not the last, mate. There's going to be, that's the way boxing is. There's going to be plenty.
No, I don't think they can do it again, man.
Let me ask you a question. I talked to Raymond Beltran, right? And he's saying he's considering to fight Pavotnikov. He wants to move up. In fact, he is moving up. He's moving up because Bob Arum basically blocked him on getting the rematch. They offered a lot of money for the Beltran rematch, but Bob Arum blocked him and said, "No, we want Crawford in there because they want Crawford."
No. Just to come to point though, I don't think they can do that again with Ricky Burns. It's like Joker said. I think, you know, sometimes your promotional company carries you, make the money, you make the money, and then they say, "Look, man."
Eddie Hearn just come out. Eddie Hearn just come out and just said that.
And the fighter has to go and say, "Okay, it's down to me then."
Eddie Hearn's just come out yesterday and just said, yeah, they offered crazy money for the Burns for the rematch with Beltran, right? And Bob Arum has come out and said, no, we think he's the mandatory, and we want him, even though it was a draw, we want a thing. They want to put Crawford in now. I'm telling you, Crawford, yeah, for all what we say, he hasn't shown anything, yeah, to show me that he's gonna go in there and stop Burns. And if you're not gonna stop him or even floor him, yeah, your Burns is gonna be in a position to win the fight. Yeah, everyone's bigging up on hype. See, I'm not on the hype thing. If he goes in there and if he goes in there and blows, let me see what I'm saying, Barrel. If he goes in there and blows him out, right, and blows him out, then you're fine. But that's what he needs to do: blow him out and stop him. You need to blatantly leave the guy on the canvas. If you're not leaving the canvas, the answer to Joker's question, no, Joker. Like, I don't see him getting it, because if Beltran did what he did, and I don't see. Look, man, he's the only thing in Scotland. You have to understand that. You know, you have to understand that there's nothing else coming through. You know, they ain't got that many fighters they produce. There ain't that many world champions. You can count on 2 hands. Yeah, they're world champions, right?
That's a good point, man. That's a very good point.
You know what I mean? And you got to understand. Look, Beltran did everything you need to do to beat the champion. He should be walking around the WBO lightweight champion right now. He should be the champion.
Well, I'll tell you guys what. There might be something that we all might be missing here, though. Because let's think about it this way, though. I mean, I know we're talking about how Matchroom had a few questionable decisions, and Eddie Hearn, he's got a lot of power, but let's not forget about the guy who's on the other end, too. I mean, we're talking about Bob Arum here. He's a guy who has a lot of power and pull himself. So we're talking about battle of the promoters. I think that Bob Arum's going to have a lot of pull in this fight as well. And I think he's got a lot invested in Crawford to make this move, obviously.
Yeah.
So we got to also keep in mind that, hey, let's not think that Bob Arum doesn't have enough pull to where he could have the right, you know, the referees that he wants put in place, or the judges that he wants put in place. And I don't know. I think Bob Arum could pull some strings too, to where we at least are going to get a fair match. That's just my opinion.
Joker, well said. Because just about to say that with Beltran's promotional company, you got to look at when, you know, papers are exchanged, when you have these conference calls and you're talking to the other person at the end of the phone. Who was Beltran's promotional company?
Well, Arum.
Yeah, but where was he though in terms of his career?
Beltran, he beat all the number one. He built himself up there to be the number 1 contender.
Yeah, and it was his last chance saloon.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, he's the young guy. He's not that old. It's not. You know.
No, Beltran.
Yeah, Beltran. Yeah, he's not that old. He's not. Nah, it's not. That was his first.
No. He was his last chance saloon because
he's never fought for a world title, so it can't be his last shot. He's never fought. That was his first title shot.
No, he was like an eliminator, but he lost. And then he went. He did. I'm sure he did.
Lost against.
I can't remember off the top of my head now, but he did. He lost.
Go on.
Look, but anyway, let's just to keep on the point. With this one, it's a young Terrence Crawford. It's like potential future.
Yeah,
this is from a business point of view. It's not. I'm not talking from like past robberies or anything like that. I'm just saying Beltran, in the scheme of things, from a promotional company point of view, is looked at that. Okay, this guy is his last chance saloon. You know, if you can do it now, you can do it. You have a look. There's some footage out there, right? And with Crawford, it's not that. You know, this guy is up and coming. And there'll be more emphasis. So the people that you're negotiating with now are going to have a bit more higher role that you're dealing with. So,
go on.
So therefore, honestly, EJ, I know you got the good gut feeling, and that's great because
there's not that. It's not that.
I don't. It's going to be a robbery this time. If it is, man, I'll eat my words, but I just can't see.
Yeah, I can. And you know what? I can tell you. I can tell you this. If Crawford loses, he's going to be thrown to the dogs, mate. You're not going to hear from him again. This is what it is, yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you lose,
but his skill level is not that bad, man.
No. It's what everyone's saying, but this is what it was in boxing.
He's better than Berg, I think. He's better than Berg.
In boxing this stage, yeah. If he loses in a way, and it's a negative fight, because his last fight, let's talk about it. It was negative. If he loses, he's just going to be thrown to the wolves. I'm telling you, because like you said, Bob Arum, they put a lot of money and investment in him, and it depends on how his performance is. They'll throw him to the wolves, mate. That's what's going on. You know,
we know that people are thrown under the bus, but I don't know. I think boxing. I think for this one, I think the boxing will do the talking, and I think the better boxer will win.
You guys rate Crawford that highly, but yet you haven't seen.
I don't rate him that highly.
I'm asking a question. Joe, could you rate him that highly?
I think he's pretty talented. I mean, I don't think he's. It all depends. See, that's the thing about Crawford is he has the talent, but like we've seen before, and we're seeing with guys like Broner right now, at least until Broner proves otherwise. Broner's a guy who has all the talent too. So the question is, in his head, is he all there? And the only thing about Crawford is he seems like he gets in fights and he gets bored sometimes. So the question is going to be, how is he going to come into this fight? But I think ultimately nobody really knows. I mean, we're going to have to see this fight, and I think this fight is a defining fight for Crawford. So if he comes out aggressive and does what he's supposed to do, well then, hey, he's the new champion and everybody's high on him. If he goes in there and he lays an egg and he leaves the door open to get robbed, or he gets beat, or he doesn't show up the way he should, then all of a sudden we start saying he's overrated. So I think this is kind of that fight, because this is his moment right now. So I don't think it's really safe for us to say he's going to get robbed or he's not going to get robbed or he's going to win or he's not. It's one of these fights where we really just have to see what happens. And after it happens, then we'll have all the answers we need, man. You know, either, you know.
God, he reminds me of Anthony Terrell and Gary Russell Jr. Let me explain. Gary Russell Jr. has all the potential in the world. What's going on with his career? What's going on with his career? I don't even know. He looked like the guy coming through. I don't know what the heck's happened to him. Now, Anthony Terrell had all the potential in the world to beat Saki Obika. Did he do it? He thought he was a champion before he went in. And I feel Crawford has that mentality now. Like, a lot of people behind him, they're already basically saying, you're just the champion. You just need to walk into Scotland and go in there, win there. And that's not a foregone conclusion to me. And I don't see anything from what I've seen from him, yeah, to go and do that. And I really like him. He reminds me of Parnell. He's got a bit of Parnell Whitaker going on and this and that. I really do like him. I actually believe that, yeah, he can thing, but I don't believe. A lot of these American guys, yeah, and this was when happening. They've got all the talent, but they haven't got the desire. They haven't got the, like, Brono's what another one. He looks like the part, but they don't put that dedication, that thing like Floyd. They're not giving it like that. They're not coming across, and Crawford doesn't strike me like that. See, that's what I'm saying about Burns maximizes his talent. He's not even that good, like, in terms of, you know, the most skillful fighter, but he gives you 100% of what he has. Now, if Crawford gave 100% of what he had, like Beltran and the rest of them, then you can see, like, yeah, this guy's sound. But I don't see him doing that. I see him just going. I see him basically stealing rounds. You know, picking.
Well, let me respond to you when you're done.
Go on. No. I see him stealing rounds. I see the fight of him picking, barely skipping through rounds. And if the rounds are like that, then you can easily give it to the champion. But you know, each round, if you dominate each round and you basically start wearing on the champion, because in my eyes, if I'm going to get a belt, this is me. I'm not a boxer. I start in slow, and each round I build up the pace until eventually around the 10th, around the 9th or 10th, I'm putting it on him hard to stop him. I'm putting it on to blatantly stop this clown. I don't care. That's the mentality, right? When it gets to the 12th, I'm finding around. I'm looking to finish him off like a Barrera and some of the old greats. They finish him off in the last round. That's what he should do. I don't see Crawford having that mentality. I don't see him doing that. I see Burns will just try his best, and because the you know, he's a fan favorite, the crowd love him. Because they see Burns trying his best, they'll probably give the fight to him rather than Crawford going over there just trying to think, well, I'm pretty, you know, I look good, I should get the belt. You know what I mean? How they rob me. You know what I mean?
Well, here's my response to that, though. I agree with most of what you're saying. The only thing I'll say is that this is going to be his test, though. You know, we don't really have that much of a rap sheet to go off of, because regardless if he hasn't always showed up 100% to those past fights, he's won them all. So I think this is going to be the fight to where we see, okay, well, how does this young kid approach this fight? Is this guy going to be somebody who, like you said, is he going to go in there like a champion should and actually take the belt off of the champion? Or is he going to go in there and feel like he's entitled and he should just get it handed to him? We don't really know yet. So I think after this fight, then we're going to know what kind of fighter he is. So we can't really say, well, he's not the goods yet, because we don't really know. I think this is his fight to prove himself. So if he does go in there and do what isn't an easy task, like you said, go in there and do what he's supposed to do in Scotland and get that belt, then I think we got to give the guy his props and say, okay, we got something here. But if he does not show up and prove, like you said, then we see that he's just another hype job. So I guess it's all going to depend on what he does in this fight. So for me, I'm just waiting to see what he does and what mental approach he takes. Because like you said, physically he's all there. He's got the defensive moves. He's got the athleticism. It's all there. So it's going to be a matter of, can this guy go maximize it? I think this is the test. So we'll see.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. Bal, you want to add anything else on that? I think we beat the... we beat this...
I think you both
Go on.
I think you both make good points. Just to end on that one, I think you both make good points. I think it's crunch time for both of them. With Ricky Burns, we know a little bit more we know a lot to go on. With Terrence Crawford, we don't know that much. So it's a good meeting of moments there and a good balance there. So in a way, it's a crunch time for both of them, and that will make for a good fight.
Definitely, I agree with both of you, man. I think you fans listening, hope you enjoyed the debate. Comment, subscribe, Joker Boxing, Bal Kang. Hopefully Bal get a YouTube channel and you can sub to his channel, and we'll talk to you again. Alright, peace.